Hey everyone, welcome back to the Astral Thoughts podcast. Today we will be focusing on the power of manifestation. I don't know if you guys believe in manifestation, but I do, simply because I believe anything and everything is possible. Um, and I strongly believe because I've done it. And it's very possible. But the thing about it, you have to be careful about what you manifest, and you have to be careful about the mind state that you're in when you're trying to manifest that certain goal. Let me just break it down for you. One, you want to make sure that that goal that you have in mind is something you really want. Think about why you want it. For me, I was trying to manifest a life a long time ago. I wanted money. And let me tell you right now, money does not bring happiness. It really doesn't. Um, I told you guys I'm a scientist. I wanted to be a scientist since I was in high school. In college, I worked towards that. I meditated. I dreamt about this lifestyle. Man, I did everything. Um, but when you're manifesting it, and when I was manifesting that, I was in a completely different mind state at that time. Why I wanted that life, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was in college and I already dedicated, those 4 years to studying and doing all that crap or whatever. But on that spiritual journey as well, your mind starts to change. Your perception on things start to change. Certain things that gave you joy doesn't really give you joy anymore. You just really want to indulge in things and just keep learning on your spirituality and just focus on that journey. Um, so with that said, I was meditating. I was speaking to God, my higher self, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And I was really just trying to gain guidance on bringing myself to that life. And eventually it did. I attained that. And, like I said, I work for a really big biotech company. And it doesn't bring joy and happiness. It really doesn't. You attain that and you really start to see kind of like the matrix. You start to see how transparent this life is. You see like how transparent your coworkers are. I don't know about you guys, but when I go to work in the morning and I'm running a test or something, I'm sometimes zoned out and just thinking about other things. I'm thinking about, oh, I'd love to meditate right now. I'd love to be reading a book right now. Um, at the same time, I'm thankful for the job, but you just start to see everyone for who they really are around you, and you just start to wonder if everyone else, you know, is just dead inside or whatever. I'm at work and I see people, and I'm just like, I don't think I could ever talk to these people about astral projection. But I found a couple of people, a couple other scientists there. Well, a couple, maybe just one, and some other people like security guards, whatever, that work there. They have that same belief as I do, and it's really nice to see that. Um, but it just makes you wonder, and it just makes you. And this is why I tell you guys to be careful about the life you manifest, because if you're in this total different mind state while manifesting that, when you finally attain what you wanted to manifest, you're not going to be happy with what you have, especially if that thing that you're trying to manifest is money. Money can make you happy only for a little bit, not forever. So, with that said, guys, be careful about what you manifest, and make sure when you're manifesting that thing, make sure you're in that correct mind state. Make sure it's for something, purely good. Manifest something like pure happiness, just pure love, something like that. Uh, don't do money, guys. Not saying don't do it at all, but just make sure when you attain that thing, you make sure you attain happiness as well. Now I'll focus a bit on some people, because some people might ask how to manifest something, or what do I use to manifest the life that I wanted. And what I did was, when I quickly or envisioned what I wanted, and I envisioned a feeling that could be attached to that vision. And so basically, I would be thankful for already having that manifested. So basically, say for example, you want to win $1 million. You envision some type of scene or some type of end result that basically guarantees you get what you want. And you envision that in your head and you attach a feeling to it that you would have. So basically, if you won $1 million, you would feel happiness. So basically, you envision that feeling and you envision that vision as well, and you play that in your head over and over. So basically, what you're just trying to do is you're trying to match a vibration frequency from another reality, basically. So you're just trying to propel yourself into that reality by matching that vibration frequency of that reality. So that's what you're basically doing. That's all what it is. So step one, think of something you want. Step two, attach a feeling to that thing that you've just envisioned and just play that over in your head and act as if you've already had it. So that's basically what I did. There's also this thing called SATS. It's called state akin to sleep. That's what it's called. State akin to sleep. And that's basically another form of manifestation. That's a really good one as well. And I know that's been really successful for other people. So look that one up if you guys want to, try manifesting something. It takes time. Nothing happens overnight, guys. Whether you're trying to astral project, you're trying to do whatever, nothing happens overnight. Everything takes time, and you actually have to work for it as well. With that said, I'm going to go into the next segment of the podcast. Some people asked some questions. They messaged me on Reddit, and they had some questions for me. So I'll just read some of those questions and go from there. This was from someone I was talking to on Reddit. He asked, when you project, I've heard you embody your higher self. Is that your experience? From my experience, when I first astral projected, I was myself. I embodied my physical being that I currently am. But from books I've read, like Robert Monroe, he states that, when you astral project, you become a form of your higher self. And Robert Monroe came to the conclusion that, you're able to shed each body while you astral project. So say you have like your astral body, you have your etheric body. So as you shed each body, as you astral project, you're kind of raising your vibration frequency. And he then realized you no longer actually even need any type of form when you astral project. You can literally just be like a pinpoint of consciousness as you astral project. You don't need anything. You don't need arms. You don't need legs. You don't need eyes. You can literally just be a pinpoint of consciousness when you astral project. So if that kind of answers his question. Another question I got was someone was having an issue when they're meditating. They said that every time that they're meditating, they feel the need to swallow. And that kind of basically messes up their groove while meditating. That's happened to me in the past as well. I answered him basically just by saying we all go through that. That's literally the point of meditation meditation is really about self-discipline and disciplining your mind as well. And it's harder than you think. I challenge anyone to meditate for just 5 minutes straight, and your mind's going to be off track. You're going to think about so many things. You're going to think about bills. You're going to think about issues. You're going to think about going out Saturday night. You're going to think about anything and everything except meditation. So with that said, what I did, I started disciplining my mind. So I'd use a method, basically just counting backwards from 100. And each time I meditate, I used that method and I attached a number to a body part, and I would just acknowledge that body part. And if my mind went astray, I'd literally start all over again. So literally just have that same type of discipline with yourself and with your mind and go from there, and you will see results. It gets easier as you go. Like I said, nothing happens overnight. Another question I had, let me see. I'm just going through. Where's that question? I think that I already answered that one. So someone also asked my opinion on reincarnation theory. Reincarnation. I don't know if you guys believe in that, but I do, simply because from the books I've read, there's this book called Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. And that book is basically a series of case studies done by him. And he has over like hundreds of patients. And he does past life regression sessions on his patients. And the crazy part is when, he's doing these sessions, all of his patients are literally having recollections of the same thing. They're saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And that's the insane part. Basically, if, when you're doing any type of experiment in science, what you want is basically results that are able to be repeated. And this is what he was doing. He was having the same results over and over and over. And a couple of things, his patients were saying was that, there's different colors of souls. So basically just a background on it. Patients would go into this hypno state, and they would basically have recollections of what it was like in a life after life. So basically how souls lived, like what world souls lived and what they did between lives. And they all literally said the same thing about seeing different colors of souls. Basically there's there's like a hierarchy. Souls that are just basically made, they're like a pure white. And then the color progresses to like a yellowish, a hint of yellow. And next, it turns fully yellow. Then it turns into like yellow with a hint of blue, and it just goes from there. It's like all the way up to like a purple. And they had the same recollections of like, being in like a soul family, basically, saying whoever you're close with in life right now, they're probably in your soul family. You probably live with them, and, you learn with them as well. And when you're first born as a soul, you basically, you kind of reincarnate with a group of people over and over. And as like you age as a soul, you start to reincarnate with less people. You don't need that much of a support group anymore. I'm starting to go off, because this is like one of my favorite things to talk about. But I highly advise you to read that book. There's like a couple of books I highly recommend people to read if they're really interested in these topics. If someone's really interested in these, like, if someone just wants to learn about astral projection, I recommend 3 books. First book would be Journey Out of the Body by Robert Monroe. Second book would be Soul Traveler, A Guide to Out-of-Body Experiences and the Wonders Beyond by Dr. Albert Taylor. And then third book would be Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. I'd highly advise you guys to read those 3 books. It literally answer all your questions. That's what I tell everyone about this. Anytime you want to know something, I highly recommend you to seek out information on your own first and just try to learn as much as you can, because that's what I did. When I first started, I didn't really ask anyone anything. I was on YouTube looking up like Ryan Cropper, just started reading books and just started connecting with people. And as you connect with people, you start to learn more. You learn more resources that you could use and everything like that. With that said, guys, that is the podcast for September 28th, 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any comments or any suggestions, leave a link below. Hopefully soon I'll be teaming up with someone to record on the next podcast so we can talk about other things. It'll be very interesting. So thank you guys, and I appreciate it.